SGLT2 inhibitors. We will be memorizing SGLT2 inhibitor drugs in two parts. Part 1 will include dapagliflozin, canagliflozin, and empagliflozin. Part 2 will include ertugliflozin, remogliflozin, sotagliflozin. Let us memorize SGLT2 inhibitor drugs Part 1, which include dapagliflozin, canagliflozin, and empagliflozin. Associate. Here we will associate the heading and drug names with common words. AS2 should remind you of SGLT2 inhibitors. DEP of Johnny Depp should remind you of dapagliflozin. CAN should remind you of canagliflozin. Emperor should remind you of empagliflozin. Revise. AS2 for SGLT2 inhibitors, DEP for dapagliflozin, CAN for canagliflozin, and Emperor for empagliflozin. Recall words. For dapagliflozin, the word is DEP. For canagliflozin, the word is CAN, and for empagliflozin, the word is Emperor. Recall drugs. CAN is for canagliflozin, DEP is for dapagliflozin, and Emperor is for empagliflozin. Story. Now we will create a story to link these words together. The story is: AS2 was waiting for DEP as he offered a can of Coke to the Emperor. The sequence is AS2, DEP, CAN, and Emperor. Visualize. See this picture and reinforce the linking story that we discussed earlier, which was: AS2 was waiting for DEP as he offered a can of Coke to the Emperor. Here, AS2 reminds you of SGLT2 inhibitors. DEP is for dapagliflozin, CAN for canagliflozin, and Emperor for empagliflozin. Now pause and try to recall the story and the image. Let us now recall SGLT2 inhibitors Part 1. They include dapagliflozin, canagliflozin, and empagliflozin. Let us memorize SGLT2 inhibitor drugs Part 2, which include ertugliflozin, remogliflozin, and sotagliflozin. Associate. Here we will associate the drug names with common words. Ertiga, the popular car brand in India, should remind you of ertugliflozin. Remo D'Souza, the Indian choreographer and dancer, should remind you of remogliflozin. And soda should remind you of sotagliflozin. Revise. Ertiga for ertugliflozin, Remo D'Souza for remogliflozin, and soda for sotagliflozin. Recall words. For sotagliflozin, the word is soda. For ertugliflozin, the word is ertiga. For remogliflozin, the word is remo. Recall drugs. Remo is for remogliflozin, soda is for sotagliflozin, ertiga is for ertugliflozin. Story. Now we will create a story to link these words together. The story is: Emperor came on Ertiga to meet Remo, who was holding soda. The sequence is Emperor, Ertiga, Remo, and soda. Visualize. See this picture and reinforce the linking story that we discussed earlier, which was: Emperor came on Ertiga to meet Remo, who was holding soda. Here, Emperor reminds you of empagliflozin. Ertiga is for ertugliflozin, Remo for remogliflozin, and soda for sotagliflozin. Remember, emperor, or empagliflozin, links Part 1 and Part 2 drugs. Now pause. Try to recall the story and the image. Let us now recall SGLT2 inhibitors Part 1 and Part 2. They include dapagliflozin, canagliflozin, empagliflozin, ertugliflozin, remogliflozin, and sotagliflozin.
Pause the video now. Write the drug names from memory in the comments. Don't rewatch. This is how real memory is built.